Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and look who's back if you're looking, is Nick. Nick, how would you like to say hello?
Howdy, Lisa. Howdy, everyone. Thanks for having me back. Yeah.
You are welcome. I'm glad you are back. And we have that same old question for you. Do you think we're all psychic?
It's going to be the same old answer, 100% yes. Mm-hmm.
Cheers to the same old answer. And watchers and listeners, I am having a brewski. This beer mug looks huge, doesn't it? It looks like one of those giant 18-ounce. It's just a regular beer. Like the whole beer didn't fit in it.
What beer is it? It's pink.
It's an IPA. It looks pink, doesn't it? It's just like because I think it's because of if you're watching, it's that lean back. It looks like a beer, and I feel the top's on. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Cool.
It looks delicious.
It looks better pink. I think I'll hold it like this the whole time. So, listeners and watchers, Nick was in a podcast about a year ago. Was that about a year ago? I think it was April. Oh, that's not a year ago. That's a year and a half ago. Gosh, time is flying. And he is an animal communicator, if you didn't catch that podcast. And it's one of my favorites. It still is to this day one of my favorite podcasts, Nick. I love that podcast.
Thank you.
You're such an engaging guest. And listeners and watchers, you should check out the first one. It's called Commitment, Cats, Coincidences, something like that. You can just put Nick in the search bar and it'll come up. So he was telling me, listeners and watchers, that he's kind of growing into his work. He's as an animal communicator. He started talking to human animals, right? He started working with the human animal.
That's true. Yeah. So when we met a year ago.
Okay, listeners, we had an interruption. And it wasn't my fault. It was my fault. Would you like to start where you started?
Yeah, sure. So it was about a year and a half ago you and I met, and it was about animals were the conversation, right? That was the new thing. Still doing animals, still talking with animals. And the way that I was supporting myself with was running a little marketing agency, a digital marketing agency, SEO, web design, that type of thing. And that's still at play, but there's a shift that's happening, and that is, as you stated, working more with human animals, right? So what kept coming back around for me was working with those human animals. And I found it funny. I found it really funny that when animals would show up, a lot of the conversations, almost all of the conversations were, let's talk about the human and what they're doing. It wasn't necessarily all about the animal. Very few times it was all about the animal. It was, remember, maybe I shared this story when I was on. Here's the typical template. Someone shows up because problem with their animal, this 3D problem, this behavioral problem. And then the conversation quickly moves to
the mirror.
The human. Yeah, right. So, I had a young lady show up and she goes, my dog's biting people, tell my dog to stop biting people. And I talked to the little Chihuahua, and the Chihuahua said, "You got to ask her about her job." So now I'm talking to this young lady about her dog, right? Or I'm sorry, about her job. And so that was the basic template, and that's still largely at play when folks come to me.
Yes.
And so this whole human animal thing became more and more prevalent. And at the same time, since 2018, I've been working with folks who are in transition from one job to the other as part of an extension of the digital agency, using an assessment, a behavioral assessment, running them through, seeing their operating system, giving them counsel on, well, here's how we operate. If we want to go over here, then let's move these characteristics, right?
Yeah. Gave them options.
Yeah. And I've seen a radical change. I mean, one gentleman that I worked with, and this was years ago at this point, he calls me up and he says, let's go out for dinner. I'm like, okay. I haven't talked to him for about a year and a half. And we get to dinner and he goes, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm moving abroad. What's going on? Well, remember that Harrison assessment? Yeah. Well, I kept it in front of me for about 6 months, like you said you did. And followed the plan we laid out. And I'm going to go start up a new branch in the UK for the company I'm working for. Oh, okay. That's cool. Right. So that type of thing has been present for a while in bits and pieces. And then probably 4 or 5 months ago, I started to hear coaching and meditation. And I was like, really?
How do you mean here? Like, what is that experience for you? Like, comes up over and over. I remember you saying things come up for you over and over.
Yeah.
What you hear and notice, kind of?
For sure. Yeah. So this was just like hearing the word coaching. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's
What does that mean anyway? I've wondered that. For everyone, it's different, right?
for coaching or for how you see it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hearing the word and I'm like, really, I'm not quite sure if I want to do that. Like, I don't have a very good feel for the entire industry. Because it's sprinkled. It's sprinkled with folks who know what they're doing and other folks who don't. And I don't like that. Just didn't seem attractive to me. But then I kept hearing it, and then I went online and I'm looking for coaching programs, and I don't see anything that I really like. And then I started to just take a pause and I go, well, who have I worked with in my career? And I've been very lucky to have worked with the best folks in my career. So I decided, well, I'm going to go to Amazon and see who's the best here. Like, most likely they wrote a book. So let me go find someone. And I found this gentleman. His name is Doug.
Yes, or I have a ghostwriter who did, probably. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Well, Doug's book was written by Doug, and I find Doug online. I find his books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if he does training. I'm really digging this. And Doug's off the planet. I find Doug's memorial page, but his training is alive and well in Asheville, in North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I moved by the way. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee now.
No, so not too far away.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm right near there.
That's cool.
I'll have to come say
cool. So I signed up. I signed up for the program, and
that became it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm in process of it. Yes. So I needed something to really anchor me into animal communication, teaching people about intuition and coaching through that, and this Harrison assessment
for people who want to start up coaching but don't know their niche or how to pitch it or how to really I'm curious about what he does. Like, what is that kind of?
What the author does?
Yeah, what the author does.
Yeah, so it's sort of broad. You can use it for a lot of things. Given my experience working in businesses for the past 25 years, it makes sense for me to work with folks at executive leadership level to create the things they want to create. You'd be surprised. I mean, I certainly am. Every time I talk to someone who makes multi-million dollars, big companies sometimes. Or just really, really good at what they do, small businesses, and they're not happy with the results. They're not happy in the business. Yeah. Like, what's the point of?
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I do this when I do readings. I can hear most of my clients are women, and they're career women, a lot of them, and they're driven. They don't ask about the dude ever. They're really driven by their careers, and it's like, I don't really talk to men that much who are like that. So when I talk to the women like that, they're very isolated and they don't really feel like they can talk to anybody about their personal stuff because they're on top. Yeah. They're these power women who are looked at as, tough, and they have to isolate, from everybody. And when they come to a reader, they can be themselves and let their guard down. So many of those people, and they've come into our field, they're psychic as hell. That's how they got so high up in their field. That's how they got so good at what they did. They're intuitive and in most CEO type positions, but they don't like what they're selling or what they're offering people. They're just making more money for other people.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good for them for whatever reason. They're unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Right. They created something and now they're locked in it. Yeah. Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
That's why I didn't want to go into writing all the way with my name. I wanted to be a ghostwriter because I couldn't change what I had to write if I got good with one book. That's the only way to make money. Get one book. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So that became a very meaningful thing for me. And so now I'm working with folks on still the animals, but also, like I said, the intuition development, the Harrison, but then adding this new piece to it, which is super cool. I've seen, I'm part of a 20-person cohort, and this 3-day retreat in Nashville, you see the change over 3 days with everyone in the group. It's fascinating.
That's so cool.
This is a real thing. This is very, very predictable. People change. Right. If you show up for anything like that want to change is available. But then if you're part of a system or a process that allows that change, that fosters that change, then you can get a really good result out of doing that. And that's what I discovered from this retreat. I'm glad I went to it. Yeah, it's super
Did they
cool.
take it home with them? Did you take it home with you? I guess you did, because you're starting a whole career based on it. Or
Yeah, it's
in a
very
new.
satisfying to want to go to something and then be happy you went to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Doesn't happen all the
What do you
time.
mean by that? Yeah.
Right? I mean, how many times you come out of a movie and you're like, I should have kept the $20.
I was thinking of musical experiences. Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. Like, how was it, Lisa? It was loud.
I love loud, but this wasn't fun loud. Yeah.
Was it good? It was loud. Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah, so it's super cool. It's a methodology that works, and I can add other things to it and take parts of it and put into other places. Yeah,
they kind of helped you structure what you want to do and how you're.
Absolutely.
That is really, really cool. That would be so helpful for a million people with what they do in our field. Because I've said this before on the podcast, so many people do wonderful healing jobs and wonderful energy work, but we don't know what to call it. How do you call it something in a 2-word phrase that a person can understand what you're doing quickly? It's hard, right?
It is hard.
It's hard to find that way so they can understand what you're offering without kind of like, what's going on here? It's not something as that accessible yet, unless you already know what you're looking for. Sometimes,
yeah, that's true.
Animal communicator is not, now. Now, this is very interesting that you have changed into the human subject for me, because when Morgana passed away, I had a lot of animal experiences after my cat Morgana passed away. She became my spirit. I think I talked. I don't know if I talked about that first podcast with you. Yeah, I did. I think I did. And she's been here ever since. She died on the solstice in 2017, and she came that night. And she's been with me ever since. And she's an orange, fluffy cat, long-haired, orange female with orange eyes. If you might see her around, she has a little green tag she likes to show off. And she says she's around here, but she's wonderful. She was at first teaching me both the tarot and how to talk to animals. And I was like, is this happening? I know I worked as a psychic, but this isn't real. This isn't real. This cat is not talking to me. My cat's passed away. You just won't let her go. You won't let her go. You won't let. But no, I love this cat. And she was there. She was like, I'm not going anywhere. You can hear me better than any spirit. Why do you think? It's because you caught me when I was alive. And she was really communicative, and it was her energy.
Yeah.
So her communication, and it's what I heard anyway when she was alive. And how we all hear our animals, I think. Yeah. So I did work with animals for a couple of years, just with groups, but like you said, it always turned into talking about the person, and that's how it started for me. So it wasn't a transition or growth into it, but the going into an animal communication with my spirit animal Morgana, and then to other people's animals, living or dead. With Morgana, at first she was helping with the passed on pets, and then she worked with living pets. And where I kind of drew the line with the animal communication is looking for lost pets. I can't tell if they're living or past. I just can't do those. They're lost pets. I have a really hard time with them, and sometimes I get a clear answer, but that's, like you said, it's never about the lost pet, right?
Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, it's not part of my bag.
It's not good. It's hard. It's really hard work. And it's if you have to, we don't have to talk about that, but that's kind of where I stopped with it. But I was being called back into working with the person again, just like you did. From your perspective, it was like you thought it was new, but I bet you've been doing it all your life, Nick. Haven't you been the person everyone comes to for advice?
Well, I mean, the nature of the work before this was organizing teams and getting folks on board and moving through the work, right?
Yeah,
and so that was it. But the difference is, instead of SEO and websites being the product, right? The ultimate traffic being the ultimate product. I'm the ultimate product in this case, right? Yeah. So whether it's animals or the Harrison or the coaching, whatever it may be, that's the big difference. So it's stepping out from behind the SEO results, stepping out from behind the expertise of that, and stepping forward in terms of let's you and I have a conversation. It's just going to be you and I, right? It's not this other thing that I use to distract,
right,
for myself. Yeah,
that's really cool. So for the listeners and watchers, can you describe if they're interested in something like the meditation you're offering, you want to talk a little bit about that coming up?
Yeah, it's an experiment. It's going to be 4 Mondays in October, starting the 6th. I think that's when it is. 7 a.m. PST. 30-minute meditation. We can give folks the link in the notes.
Yeah, I'll put the link. Do you want to put the link? We don't want to put the link.
You tell me how to do it.
Of the meditation in the morning, 10 minutes before the podcast. I'll put the link on YouTube. And you can join it, and then I will disappear it. And you can let them in, or whoever shows up will be there. That's how we'll do it.
Yeah, we can't. Okay.
Well, we can post the link, but I'm afraid like people will just randomly be coming into your Zoom room. I'll have to delete.
Yeah, no. So what it is, we can put a link on that has a form. People can give their first name, their last name, their email.
Who's one of them? Okay, well, good. You explain it to them because I need it explained too. So
yeah. Just give me your first name, your last name, your email, and then I will shoot you out the link to the meditation when the time comes.
So guys, he's got that all ready for you. I didn't know that. Okay, well, it's already set. Great.
Yeah,
I'll put that definitely in the podcast description along with anything else you want in there.
Great. Yeah, so please join. Like I said, it's an experiment. I'm going to do it for 4 weeks, see how I like it, see how other people like it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of creating a community and making it based around meditation. It changes things, and whatever you're doing,
it does.
Talking to animals or people, or not talking to animals or not talking to people, it can make things better for you.
You really can. And I'm really excited that you offered this to me. And I hope any of you listeners will join us. And I just have needed it personally, something like that, something focused that I can stay at home with. And I love it early in the morning to wake up. I meditate every morning anyway. I wouldn't call it meditating necessarily, maybe, but I think it is. I'm in a lot of pain when I wake up. So I lie down on the couch for about 2 hours and I just lie there and just I do Reiki usually and talk to my cats and kind of space out and think about what I'm going to do with the day. And I'll talk to my guides and I'll do some more Reiki, and it's just a really relaxing way to wake up and sip on coffee, and stuff. And about 2 hours after that, after I've woken up, then I can start getting dressed and stuff. So it's just perfect that you're doing it at the time that you're doing it at for me personally, because I can just wake up and then have my coffee and then start doing the meditation. So afterwards, all the pain will be gone, because it takes about 2 hours for the pain to be gone, and that'll be right when I'm about to get dressed. So you have no idea what good timing that is for me personally.
Good.
And listeners, what time is it? Again,
it's at 7 a.m. PST.
Okay, that's a specific time if you don't know.
For 30 minutes. It's total of 30 minutes. Promise to be over at the end of 30.
What are we expecting a little bit? Can you give us a little idea of what we might expect?
Yeah, I've learned a couple different variations of meditation since 2017. And so what I like to show people is the items that I felt have been helpful for me. So when I went to the psychic, part of the conversation when we first met was I went to the psychic. She said, you're going to talk to animals. It's going to be easy for you. And I thought, well, the only reason it's going to be easy for me is because I've been doing something to make it easy. That was my thinking. And part of it was that meditation, this on and off meditation process. And since then, meditation's been more consistent because I'm looking for a consistent result.
A lot about meditation, and
yeah. It at least for me, if that goes out the window, then a lot of other things kind of go out the window. Yeah. So to have a consistent meditation, a daily practice, ideally, but it's once a week. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. For 30 minutes in the morning, if you're up, like I just said, if it's timing is perfect anyway. And I don't know how many people listen, but if you're listening, he knows a million people, right? Don't you know? Somebody other than me, he knows a million people.
At least a million people.
Through Kevin Bacon, you've got to know at least 2 million.
Yeah. So a half hour, folks will show up the first, we'll say 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just do a little bit of framing. We'll drop in at 5 minutes before. I'm making this up as we go along. I have not thought about it as well.
That's awesome. I love this. You're going to nail it.
5 minutes before time's up, we'll bring everyone back together. And here's, I think, part of the lovely thing is people get to have experiences, right? But not everyone who has done this will have had an experience prior. So you come into this And folks are going to say, oh my goodness, here's my experience, or we'll see if that happens. But what that does is it normalizes the experience for everyone else.
Yes.
Right.
I
Because if you're
love
feeling
that.
stuff moving, but you're like, I can't say I'm feeling stuff moving. That sounds crazy. Well, congratulations. And someone else may go, so I felt things moving, or I
Yes.
saw something, or I heard something. And that's a conversation that doesn't quite get normalized.
I would love that to be normalized. And it's starting to be more than it ever was. We can actually talk about it on a podcast, even.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about it now on podcasts, even the Christian ones, it's not just for the woo-woos or any everyday people.
That's right.
The news lady's talking about her wellness, and I think it's great. She should. She works hard.
Yeah.
She really does. And I just think it's cool. I see it now more because I've been in this field for a very long time, and just that it is so open now. When I started this podcast, it was not this open, and that was 6 years ago. So it's been a huge change for me to see that, like, for you to do this meditation, I know you're going to have people, and you're going to have people be successful at learning what they came to your meditation to learn about themselves, or how to get back on track with. I think that's kind of like when I'm hearing is that's the two things you really like to help people with, getting back
That's
on
right.
track with themselves.
Yeah.
And
Give people a quiet space for 30 whole minutes. I mean, we don't encourage that, right? So the least we can do for ourselves is Monday morning, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Can we start there? See how it works? I think so.
It is for us listeners and watchers. It isn't because someone said so or you think you should. It is a gift to yourself. You can do it if you want to. Is it something you can give yourself? It's right. Look at it, because it is so much fun to meditate. It's not like, woo, party. It's not the kind of party. It's the best feeling afterwards. I mean, your whole day is set up, is it not? Especially in a group meditation kind of thing. I'm really curious about that because I've never done it in the morning.
Oh, it's super cool. Yeah. So the fun part of it is when you, and I work with folks like this with developing their intuition, right? So there's, when you're working with someone and the energy is moving with you and I, as an example, we have an experience together. We're creating this space, right? Now you throw 10 more bodies into that and you're creating a bigger space, right? Ideally, that's what's happening.
We're open, or we want,
right?
We're aiming.
And then you do that consistently. Right now, everyone is settling into this space and growing in this space.
Yeah.
So the experience on day one, ideally, should be very different on day 4. Right?
Yeah, you're right. It should be. Oh, I can't wait for this. This is gonna be great, guys.
So it'd be cool.
Yes, it will be very cool. So what's the website again? So they can, this one's time to hear it again.
Yeah, should we put a link in the show notes for this form for folks to sign up?
We'll do both.
Okay. So how about this? I'm going to create a page. It'll be nickmusica.com/meditation. I think that'll work.
I'll put that in the show notes.
Okay.
And then in that page, you put...
I'll have the form.
I like that.
A link to the form. Yeah. So people can click on that, sign up, and that'll be that.
That is so perfect. We just nailed that. I like it. It's easy. And there'll just be one thing to click. And then when you click on that, there'll be another thing to click. And a few things to fill out, right?
That's it. First name, last name, give me your email, and then you're on the list.
Okay, that's all it is. Yeah. And then you meditate and you relax with some people and you feel each other's energy in the morning when we're all just I don't know about you, in the morning I always feel best. Even though I do have a lot of pain in the morning, my attitude is my best. At first, when I wake up, I'm not always great. But once I get that coffee and I'm on the couch and my cats are with me, and they're all snuggling and the window's open, and it's just so beautiful to have that sun rising, and I just love that time in the morning. I light some candles every morning, and it's just my favorite time of day. So I'm glad to do this with you and with all of y'all. Hope I'm going to join us.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, please join if you can.
Yes. And lastly, I want to thank my sponsor, Everclear. They are an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I'm an advisor on there under the name Lisa Russick, as you know, as they know. And I've got so many questions for you, Nick. Gosh, for advice. Because I have a feeling you've got a really good way with bringing out the best in people, bringing out their best quality and letting them see it. I feel like you know how to do that, And I have two questions, kind of a two-part question. How do you bring it out in yourself? And the other part of the question I want to know is this meditation an experiment? Is it kind of for you too? Like to get back on track for you, or you feel like you feel better also, or not better, but I mean, is this something personal for you?
I mean, so I'll answer them in reverse order. So, yes. And
I love confusing the listeners.
for me, it's, what's in it for me? So for me, it's, there's an aspect of community to it, to building community. And that's the thing that's interesting for me.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. It is going to be really cool. And
it's sort of the version of if you drive by a dog park and you see all the dogs playing, except it's Monday morning meditation with people.
Yes, I love that. I know dogs, other people's dogs like that. About the first podcast. Other people's dogs in the dog park are really cute and exciting.
Yeah, right.
This will be a great meditation, guys, and it'll be cats in your couch.
It will be on mine. Yeah,
your dog can be in your bed too. I know a lot.
And then the first question. What was the first question?
I can't remember the first question either. It was a good one. I thought anyway.
How do I keep myself?
That's why I used it for a second.
I think it was how do I keep myself?
Yes, how do you keep yourself like? I think it was optimistic, or was it? Keep yourself like motivated. I think it was basically what I was getting at.
Yeah, the meditation in the morning is super helpful for me. And one of the pieces that I liked about the coaching aspect of things is, as I'm studying up on it, I got to the point where I thought, wait a minute. So about 80% of this work is you working on yourself. It's you treating yourself right. It's you eating well. It's you doing all the things you need to do to show up to be in service of the other person. Oh, okay. That sounds great, because you're holding yourself to a different standard in so many ways, activity-wise, eating-wise. Like everything has to be as best as it possibly can in order to show up and help someone else, right?
Yeah.
So that part was the last straw in terms of like, okay, so the decision is made. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. And I know you're helping people already. Like I said, I think you have all your life. And it's just a pair of shoes you're putting back on that you forgot you ever wore, maybe.
It could be that. Yeah, thanks, Lisa.
Little flip-flops from the pool. Save some drowning kids. I don't know. I bet you saved some drowning kids and dogs.
I did once. Yeah.
So, all right. Then I have one last question for you. I don't remember if I asked this in the first podcast, but do you love the listeners and the watchers?
What is it?
Do you love the listeners and the watchers?
Which ones are we talking about?
The listeners and the watchers of this podcast.
Yes.
Which ones are we talking?
That was a little too open for me.
Yeah, we should go through that list. That's a podcast in itself. I love it. Listeners and watchers, he loves you. And he wants you to come to his meditation. And I want you to, too. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Listeners, I love you, too. Peace out. Goodbye.